Hello, this is Desi Milusheva, employment counselor with the Neighbourhood group. We offer free services to job seekers, and right now I want to introduce some of the topics we discuss in our resume workshop. I want to cover 5 important things and common mistakes that people do with their resumes. And if you want to learn more, definitely you can attend our workshops, or you can also check the first part of this series, the resume do's. First, I want to start with a common mistake that we see in the resumes. Do not use fancy fonts or difficult to read fonts. So also here I would add graphics and tables in the resumes. There are 2 reasons for this. First of all, fancy fonts may look fancy, but they are difficult to read, and chances of those statements to be read by the employer are not so big. And also, you have to take into consideration that very often the initial screening will be done by applicant tracking systems, computerized applications. And if you're using fancy fonts, or if you're using graphics, or if you're using tables, those texts might be not properly interpreted or even completely ignored by the applicant tracking systems. The next mistake that we see in the resumes is people sending the same resume in response to every job posting. Do not do that. The job postings are different, the jobs are different, the requirements are never completely the same. So your resume shouldn't be the same. Employers will notice if this is your one-size-fits-all resume, or if it is a resume you created specifically for them, trying to show why you are so suitable and so relevant. So make sure you always target your resume. Another mistake, number 3, that we notice in the resumes, do not list your responsibilities. These are usually boring statements that don't emphasize the value that you can bring. So just think about boring statements like answered phone calls. The employers will read it, if they read it at all, and will forget about them. So instead, make sure that you emphasize your achievements. Give specific examples of what you have done. So for example, answered more than 100 phone calls per day instead of just answered phones. Don't have gaps in your work history. This is the number 4, don't. Gaps in the work history, periods of time when you are not working. This is something that will be a concern if an employer is looking at your resume. This could be a perfect reason your resume to be discarded from the competition, because there will be others with no gaps. You may have gaps in your employment history, but there is something that you've been doing in this period of time. So this is something that could find place in your resume. So avoid those gaps. Number 5, do not include your references. References are not needed at this point. The employers still are not sure if they want to check them. There are several other stages before the employers get to the references. So don't use that valuable space in your resume for the references. Instead, you can emphasize your achievements and show the employer how you can add value. So these are 5 mistakes that we see in the resumes. If you want more, you will be welcome to attend our resume workshop or check the first part of this series, the resume do's. Or if you need help with any of those steps in editing your resume, preparing your resume for sending to employers, we will be happy to assist you. We offer free services to job seekers, and we'll be happy to help you to find your next job.